Sabay ba? Hi, Piolo.
The EFTA, the European Free Trade Association, which is a free trade agreement between countries in Europe. The EFTA was founded in Stockholm in 1959. The European Free Trade Agreement was founded in order to achieve growth and development, also to promote the economic cooperation between Western European countries. The ECC, or European Economic Community, was the base of the EFTA because it had similar structures.
The primary goal of EFTA was the creation of a single market, which would include all the nations of Western Europe. By 1991, another goal, the removal of tariffs on all non-agricultural imports, was reached. Despite these successes, EFTA's early years were dominated of a European free trade area.
The main exports of the EFTA agreement are mineral products with 72,000 million euros, chemicals and allied industries with 71,000 million, precious stones and metals including non-monetary gold with 70,000 million, and machinery and electrical equipment with 38,000 million. The main imports come from the European Union, the EFTA partners, US and China, with precious stones and metals from 67,000 million, machinery with 43,000 million, chemicals and allied industries with 39,000 million, and transportation with 24,000 million euros.
The type of agreement they have is regional organization, which is free trade area. There are international organizations in which the members have a faster cooperation and economic political integration. This agreement refers to the specific members of the alliance that are in it and the limited memberships around the world. They don't have still a customs union yet.
The achievements of the EFTA are facilitating flows to help world-class business expand, flourish and become more competitive in key high-growth markets. Also, workers in all sectors have the economic impact positively by leading to 3.3 million jobs.
The main challenge of the EFTA Free Trade Agreement is that the UK is a very major trading nation and will make EFTA into a full competitor with the European Union. The close relations of the UK with India, Canada, etc. holds the promise of expanding EFTA to an organization that is larger than the European Union.
Free trade agreements nowadays are signed with Bosnia and Herzegovina and with Central American states. Ongoing negotiations are with Algeria, Central American states like Honduras, Ecuador, India and Indonesia. Also, 3 of the 4 actual members are also members of the European Union and have access to the internal market. The main winners of the European Free Trade Association are the 4 current members and the ongoing negotiation partners that hope to have a free trade agreement with EFTA. Another substantial winner is the UK because of their withdrawal of the European Union and their ongoing annexation to the Free Trade Association.
In 2005, representatives of the Faroe Islands raised the possibility of their territory joining EFTA. According to the Article 56 of the EFTA Convention, only states may become members of the EFTA. The Faroe Islands are part of the Kingdom of Denmark, and that's why they couldn't get in.
The main industries developed are research, education and transport.
Created using Powtoon.
Hey there guys, we gathered some of our classmates to ask what is EFTA. What is EFTA, Mika? Nick, what is EFTA? What is EFTA? EFTA. Kela, what is EFTA?
Hindi ko alam.
What is EFTA?
Hindi ko alam eh.
Glenn, what is EFTA?
EFTA is the European Free Trade Association.
Oh, galing. The EFTA, or the European Free Trade Association, it is the second bilateral agreement that the Philippines has entered into. It is a regional trade organization and free trade area consisting of 4 European states, which is the Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. and was signed in Berlin, Switzerland on April 28, 2016. The Philippines-European Free Trade Association Free Trade Areas has many negotiations. The first one is in November 2013, the Philippines formally sat down with the EFTA states and announced its interest to undertake negotiations for a free trade agreement. The second one is in June 23, 2014, in the Westman Islands, Iceland. The Philippines and the EFTA signed a Joint Declaration on Cooperation, or JDC, and established a Joint EFTA-Philippines Committee. The third one is a scoping paper was signed by the parties prior to negotiation rounds in Geneva, Switzerland on November 24, 2014. On April 28, 2016, in Bern, Switzerland, the Philippines signed a free trade agreement with the EFTA member states. Since then, the Philippines and the European states has a strong band in enforcing its free trade agreements and free trade areas.
In the European Free Trade Area. A free trade area is a group of countries who promote trade between member nations. To do this, countries don't put taxes, tariffs or quotas on each other's goods. Tariffs are taxes placed on goods from other countries. If the UK left the free trade area, then the area would be able to put taxes and tariffs on our exports. This would make them more expensive and far less attractive to European customers. Quotas are limits countries set on the number of goods which can be imported and exported. If the UK were to leave the free trade area, then the EU could determine how many of each type of product could be sold in the area.
Peace! Dati ka ng peace.
Okay, one.
Hi guys, what is the history of EFTA states and the Philippines?
On January 12, 1960, the Treaty on the European Free Trade Association was initiated in the Golden Hall of the Prince Palace of Stockholm. This established the progressive elimination of customs duties on industrial products, but did not affect the agricultural or fisheries products. EFTA was historically one of the two dominant Western European trade blocs, but is now much smaller and closely associated with a historical competitor, the European Union. It was established on May 3, 1960 to serve as an alternative trade bloc for those European states that were unable or unwilling to join the European Economic Community. The founding members of the EFTA were Austria, Denmark, Norway, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. During the 1960s, these countries were often referred to as the Outer Seven, as opposite to the Inner Six of the European Economic Community. EFTA has several free trade agreements with non-EU countries as well as declarations on cooperation and joint work groups to improve trade. Currently, the EFTA states have established the preferential trade relation with 24 states and territories, in addition to the 24 member states of the European Union.
Hi guys. Hi guys, what are the main commodities that the Philippines and the European free trade areas agreed to transact?
In April 2016, the free trade agreement between the EFTA states and the Philippines was signed by the ministers and officials of the Philippines and the EFTA states. The Philippines gained significant concessions on agricultural products, particularly those that are currently being exported to the EFTA member states, such as desiccated coconut, prepared or preserved pineapples, tropical fruits, and raw sugar. In addition, Switzerland provided 0% in quota tariffs for raw sugar, muscovado in particular. Norway committed 0% tariffs on all feeds for fish and the same tariff treatment with EU on processed agricultural products, and Iceland committed duty-free treatment on almost all the Philippines' current exports, with high potential export interests such as a tropical fruit wine. The Philippines granted the EFTA member states agricultural market access on a bilateral basis on a number of goods such as temperate fruits, minerals, aerated waters, food preparation, chocolates, cheese, wines, and among others.